Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, my name is Trey, and on this channel I document my road to financial freedom, self-improvement, and productivity mastery. We explore tools and strategies that help us all live healthy, wealthy, and more productive lives. And in today's video, we're going to go over why you should read more. Before I get into why you should read more, let me talk about myself and how I used to not really read growing up like many of us do. Because growing up as a kid, you used to always get your reading material from school, and they will always force you to read something you don't like just to pass on the test. Now, let's get into the 3 main reasons why I started reading more now and why you should too. Reason number 1, to help you grow as a person. One thing I try to do is grow in various aspects of my life, and reading helps me as it relates to a lot of my core values. The 4 of which being knowledge, discipline, growth, and wealth. And consuming different information from books I read helped me along the process and grow in all my core values. Reading also helped me change my mindset on a lot of different things as it relates to fitness, health, money, relationships with people. And that truly has helped me a lot because I feel as though your mindset is the end all and be all of everything. It all starts with the way you think and the way you perceive things. Which leads me into my next point of how it better helps me change my perspectives to empathize with other people, not just the person I'm reading about, but also people I interact with on a daily basis. Okay, so reason number 2 is to learn as much as possible. So if you pay attention to one of my core values is knowledge, I want to be as knowledgeable as possible. And of course, reading helps you expand your knowledge. And if you could download directly into your brain someone else's knowledge from a lifetime of experiences just for $5, $10, $15, would you? The answer for me, yes. And one thing that helped me learn is help me learn new skills or look at areas when I'm lacking in that I didn't know I was lacking in before reading the book. A prime example for me being How to Win Friends and Influence People by Dale Carnegie really helped me open my eyes and see how I'm lacking in different communication skills, not just in the people I know, but the people I don't know and the way I interact with people on my day-to-day basis. Okay, so the 3rd main reason is to explore old ideas and create new ones. Now, in the process of reading various types of books, you'll come across very thought-provoking books. Like, for instance, 12 Rules of Life by Jordan B. Peterson is an insanely thought-provoking book. While reading this book, it brings back old ideas that I had. It helps me create new ones, which I all put in my little slip box, which I'll get into a later video. And for those that don't know real quick, it's basically like a second brain for all your ideas to kind of manifest and create new ones. So be sure to subscribe and hit the bell notification so you won't miss that video. Okay, now that we went over the 3 main reasons why I started reading and you should too, let's go over tips and tricks to help you more efficiently read. Okay, so the first tip I have for you is to read what you like. Don't feel bad about dropping books. Whenever I come across a book that loses my interest, or I just don't like any of the ideas inside of the book, I just drop it and pick up a new one. Also, have a little bit of your fiction in there too. But don't get too carried away like me, because I get carried away with my manga and light novels all the time. Also, don't be afraid to listen to audiobooks. I listen to audiobooks all the time. One of which I finished recently is Jocko Willink's Dictating Me Leadership, and currently I am listening to Green Lights by Matthew McConaughey, and I love both of them. Okay, let's get into my second tip, which is limit sub-vocalization. And for those of you that don't know, sub-vocalization basically is when you say the words out loud inside of your head. And my favorite tip to combat this is use a pen or your finger and go across the page slightly at a fast pace than you usually read. It's going to be a bit uncomfortable at first and really difficult. It's going to be really difficult at first. I mean, I've been doing it for several months and it's still kind of difficult for me, but I haven't made insane progress since I started. So if you have your hiccups, don't really beat yourself too up. Just keep pushing through and keep reading on. Okay, so my 3rd tip, which is going to be one of my favorite, is don't read every book the same way. So you're going to have a different mix of books, everything from how-tos to philosophical books, and you do not read them the same way. Let's use these 2 books as an example. This is a philosophical book and takes a while to read. Very thought-provoking. You're going to write down a lot of ideas that you get from this book. But this is a how-to book. You're going to go through this book insanely fast. When it comes to these how-to books, you basically want to go for the golden nuggets of information and just cut out all the fluff. You don't have to read chapter to chapter. Go to the table of contents like I do. Pick out the most important ones and then go to that chapter and then go to the other ones and later on. But once again, for like this book, you're going to have to read every chapter, almost every excerpt, but it's well worth it. And when it comes to fiction, it varies. Kind of like with your fiction TV shows. You skip all the parts you really don't care about that's boring you, making you fall asleep, and you slow down on the parts that really grab your interest. Okay, so my 4th tip for you is to make it more accessible. So the way I make it accessible for me is, of course, like I said before, I listen to audiobooks and I always listen to them on my phone, and I carry my phone everywhere just like you do. And I also keep 2 or 3 books in my backpack, and I also read some books online. So the general concept for this is to make this process as frictionless as possible and just have a low barrier entry so you can just grab and start. Okay, so my last tip for you is to have a rotation of books. Okay, so currently I have about 4, 5, 6 books I'm going through, including my audiobooks. I have 12 Rules of Life by Jordan B. Peterson. I have The Way of Men by Jack Donovan. I have Storyworthy by Matthew Dix. And I have The Introvert's Edge to Networking. Okay, so for my audiobooks, right now I'm listening to Green Lights by Matthew McConaughey, and I'm listening to The Evolution of Desire by David Buss. In a general guide for your rotation, you want to have a good mix of how-tos to philosophical and have your little bit of entertainment. And also for fiction, right now I'm reading this light novel called Supreme Magus Online, and I love it. And you'll love it too if you're into fantasy. So the general concept for your rotation is to have a good mix of how-tos, a little bit of entertainment, and your philosophical books. And whenever you get bored of one book, just hop right over to another and continue reading. If you like the video, go ahead and do me a favor and hit the like button down below and share the video with a friend that you think should read more. So if you want to check out any of the books that I talked about in this video, as well as some other recommended books that I've read, I'll have the links down below in the description for you. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll catch you in the next video. Peace.